3 days are in the book here in Hoover at SEC Media Days. Kevin Scarbinsky, Natalie Williams. Nick Saban, it was Nick Saban Day. Not a huge crowd from everything that I heard as far as how it compares to the other crowds that have come out here to greet Nick Saban as he took the podium for SEC Media Days. What were your thoughts on both the crowd that was here to greet Nick Saban and Nick Saban's 30 minutes at the podium?
Well, this word doesn't usually collide with Nick Saban in the same sentence, but I felt mellow listening to him, looking at the Alabama fans downstairs. I don't know if that's because he's been here so many times. I don't know if it's because they haven't won the national championship the last 2 years, but he didn't go off on a rant. He didn't really have any edge to him today. He seemed very comfortable in his place.
Is there something that Alabama fans should take from that, or is it just take it as it is? He was having a mellow day. He wasn't fired up Nick Saban.
Well, he spent the offseason going off on a number of topics, whether it was satellite camps or cost of attendance. And even when he was asked about those things today, he didn't rant about them because he's already ranted about them. Even Jonathan Taylor, he was very reserved talking about Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, there's only so much you can say about each topic, and he did say, his daughter got married. He's just he's in a good place. One guy that was interesting today was Brett Bielema from Arkansas. Took the stage, was actually asked if he did some backflips and cartwheels, and he said, "I'm going to say this: I respect my elders."
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on just him on stage and his presence? I mean, he decided he wanted to wear some really cool Nikes today because he saw Dan Mullen yesterday wore the Yeezys, the Adidas shoes, and he said, why not start a little Nike Adidas war? I mean, his whole persona, his whole personality. What was your takeaway, being a guy that's been here, a seasoned veteran?
Yeah, the more I listened to Bielema, the more I thought, you know what? This is the next Spurrier. This is the guy who's going to tell you what he thinks, whether you like it or not. He's going to be funny. He's going to be edgy. Sometimes he'll be confrontational, but he's just being honest. And isn't that what we want coaches to be?
Yeah.
And sometimes we complain when coaches are honest and they say something we don't like or we disagree with, but we want honesty from coaches. And I think that's exactly what we got from Bielema. I hope he's around for a long time.
Yeah, definitely entertaining. I mean, he probably needs to win a few more games. He shouldn't be doing cartwheels or backflips after a 7-6 season.
And he did point out that at his size, he really can't do a cartwheel or a somersault.
Yeah, no, he was extremely entertaining. Everything from the offensive linemen on the media guide cover and saying, well, that's the only group I felt good taking a picture with. But one thing that was interesting didn't actually happen here today at SEC Media Days, but our Brandon Marcello, beat writer for Auburn, found out Will Muschamp's contract. He's going to be paid, maybe the highest assistant coach paid in college sports history.
One of the highest paid coaches, period.
Yeah.
Because he's getting his full buyout from Florida. One of the most amazing deals I've ever seen. There's no offset. So what Auburn's paying him doesn't reduce the amount that Florida owes him. So Florida's going to pay him about $2.1 million a year for each of the next 3 years. And you throw on top of that, Auburn's going to pay him 1.6 the first year, 1.7 the second year, 1.8 the next year. So that's $3.9 million if my fingers and toes are adding up correctly in the third year. That's if he stays at Auburn in the third year. And if he leaves after this year's SEC championship game for another job, he doesn't owe Auburn a penny.
Which is crazy. You just don't hear of that. It's almost like you heard Gus Malzahn just excited that we really feel like we have the best defensive mind, and he made a point to say, not in college football, but in football, period. You better hope he's the best defensive mind in sports, period, because to be able to pay someone that much, make them the highest paid assistant coach, knowing also that they're still getting money from a previous university, and say, hey, at the end, we're going to hopefully, I mean, it kind of sets up that you're hoping that you're going to win it all this season, because at the end of the day, you're letting him walk away with whatever he has or whatever he doesn't have, but he's going to have money.
Oh, well, look, Auburn's been burned by contracts before. Gene Chizik's the prime example. After they won the national championship, they give him a buyout of $10 million, which was ridiculous. And then they're still paying for it.
Yeah.
But Will Muschamp, he's going to live up to his hype. He's going to earn every penny that they're paying him, and that Florida's still paying him, and he will be the best hire that anybody's made in the offseason, and it will be proven over time. That's a prediction you can take to the bank.
We have one more day here in Hoover at SEC Media Days. Les Miles will headline the group. We'll see what kind of shoes he's wearing.
Barefoot. He's going to be barefoot.
I did see a tweet like that.
He's going Huck Finn.
I think that's the only thing he can do right now to compete. I mean, Nike, Adidas, he can't, I mean, what is he going to, Converse? He's going to come in some Converse. I don't think he'll be allowed to do that based on LSU's contract. So, for Kevin Scarbinsky, I'm Natalie Williams. We'll see you tomorrow on the final day of SEC Media Days here in Hoover.